The 97th Agriculture and Commercial Show is here. Well, it's in full effect. Just as you may know, the B2B is currently going on at this year's Agriculture and Commercial Show. Now, the 2 days that were meant for B2B, business-to-business interaction, is what is happening currently. But you and the rest of the viewers and listeners are encouraged to come through and experience the 97th Agriculture and Commercial Show under the theme Adapting to Climate Change. My name is Victor Mwanza. For the next 10 minutes or so, I will be having an interesting interaction that will speak to how the Zambia Revenue Authority has interpreted this year's theme, which is Adapting to Climate Change. Well, if you were to imagine what climate change is all about and what are some of the effects of climate change, you and I will agree to say such an institution really plays a vital role in making sure that change is seen. Well, hi, how are you? And welcome to the short interview. And well, thank you very much for according us an opportunity. Your name and what exactly you do at ZRA.
Thank you very much. My name is Nyamanyerenda. I'm from a department called Taxpayer Services and Education. So our role is really to educate the public on what ZRA does and really what the benefit of taxes is. So yeah, and welcome to our stand. We are glad to have you here, Sane.
Thank you very much. Quite a nice stand. A lot of interaction obviously going on. Now, let me get to what we want to find out first and foremost, which is this year's theme, Adapting to Climate Change. What is climate change in ZRA's words?
Okay, thank you. So let me start by explaining what climate change at a broader perspective. So we do know that climate change is basically the shift of temperatures. It can be the shift of weather patterns. Okay, so this shift can be as a result of human activities that may be there, the littering that may be there, that can actually affect this shift that we are talking about. Last year, we witnessed that kind of shift. We saw a prolonged drought period that was there. And in other areas, apparently, we had flooding that was happening. So yeah, at a broader perspective, climate change really looks at how us as human beings are affecting this climate, which is supposed to be favorable and give us good environments for us to thrive as businesses, to thrive as the authority. Now, your question is, as ZRA, how is this climate change affecting us? So, if you as a business, you have not traded because you own a barber shop or you own a butchery and you did not have power, okay, due to load shedding and the prolonged drought. What that means is that you cannot declare any income. And because you cannot declare any income, it's then expected that we cannot charge you tax. Okay? So as ZRA, we are not able to collect tax if the businesses are not making any profits or any gains. So it's only right that as Zambians, we should all go through this agenda of making a safe environment for businesses to thrive.
Now, if we're to speak of adaptation, how is ZRA adapting to climate change?
So as ZRA, as I mentioned, we want taxpayers to adapt to climate change by digitalizing. We have digitalized most of our platforms. What do I mean? When you look at the period when we were manual, I can tell you that we have about 12 million that are sitting in our central registry. 12 million files. So that's a lot of files of paper. So from the time we digitalized, what that means is that now that paper that we used to handle, okay, that paper is now sitting online through our tax online system and our Skuda World, the system that you use when you are importing your goods and services. But what else have we done? The fact that you are not driving from point A to point B, and you're not using a vehicle that is using, that will certainly add to the carbon emission. Already, we are saying ZRA is going to help sustain this environment. Why do we say so? We have platforms where you can actually register without visiting ZRA. We have a platform that you can use to submit a return, the powers I was talking about. We also also have a platform that you can make payments. Okay, so with that in mind, we are saying as ZRA, digitalization has really played a critical role in supporting environment sustainability. What else have we done? We have incentives that are supporting various businesses. Okay, let's take for instance, if you want to import the solar panels or solar batteries, okay, even a vehicle that is chargeable, you will notice that the solar panel and the solar equipment, you will have that relief of taxes. You pay almost nothing. 600 kwacha processing fee of the documents on the system. That's all you pay. The rest of the taxes are waived. So incentivizing a number of sectors, agriculture, energy, is one of the key initiatives that ZRA has done as we were responding to this year's theme of adaptation to climate change.
Now, let's speak to one of the, I want to call it a fear. A taxpayer out there has not been compliant. You know, why is it very important to stick to this obligation as a taxpayer?
Okay, so it is important for a taxpayer to stick to obligations post-registration. We will need to avoid unnecessary costs. Having penalties on your account, having interest on your account is unnecessary cost. However, we have facilities that are there to support the businesses. We have the penalty waiver facility. Should you see any penalties on your account, all you need to do is apply, explain to us what necessitated the penalties, and we'll proceed to give you a waiver, whether it's 100%, 75% or 50%. What else have we done? We've opted to look at your principal. If your principal is too large, because we can't waive a principal amount, if your principal is too large, we are encouraging businesses to come on board and enter into what we call the time to pay agreement. So this is a payment installment plan, which is very flexible. The only condition that is there is you make the initial 30% payment. Thereafter, then you agree on how you are going to dismantle the rest. Again, this is an initiative that was there to support the businesses. We don't want the businesses to suffocate. ZRA exists because of the businesses, and ours is to ensure that the business grows.
Awesome. Now, if we're to speak to the benefits as a taxpayer, how can taxpayers benefit from ZRA's tax policy as a result of the measures undertaken by adapting to climate change?
Very nice question. So when you look at the cycle I spoke about, let's start from somewhere. We had prolonged drought last year. The businesses could not make enough income, and thereafter ZRA could not tax. Okay? Now this tax that ZRA collects goes to government. And how does government spend this tax? They will go into payment of salaries. The teachers need to get paid. There's free education, yeah, and people are going. Our children are going to use. No? We have doctors. I always like talking about a relative who is in the village, a relative who has no private clinic. Which hospital do they visit? It's certainly a government hospital, and they'll need to find a doctor to prescribe, okay, the medication that they need to take. They need to find a nurse to give them that injection that they need. All those people, they need salaries. Okay, so what is the benefit for a Zambian? We have seen it all. As Zambians, we are enjoying these services. These taxes that ZRA collects certainly is going back to us. And because it's going back to us, it's only right that we sustain the environment. Once this environment is sustained, we'll have stable weather patterns where a farmer can grow their produce. A person in the barber shop can at least have power without load shedding, and any other business can manufacture. So that's the greatest good and desire as the Zambia Revenue Authority.
Awesome. Now, to you who's listening to us and watching us right now, I want to pose a question to you. Imagine you go to a hospital, like she's put it, and you find there's no doctor because, one, you did not pay tax. That doctor doesn't have the salary. Who costed it? It's you, because you didn't pay the salary to that doctor through the tax that you're paying. Now let's speak to the fact that we're speaking to adapting to climate change here. Businesses are not probably registering the cash inflow as they used to before everything happened, like the El Nino last year. How is ZRA helping businesses face cash flow challenges as a result of reduction in the business activities and due to climate change?
Okay, so remember, you only pay tax when you have made a sale. We don't expect people to use emotions, I always say, to make a declaration. Just declare what you have made. If you have not made a sale, then you cannot pay tax. That's the first principle that we all need to know. Then secondly, should you have problems, you feel the amount that has accumulated on your account is too huge. As I mentioned, the time to pay agreement is available. It's a tool that you could use to dismantle that debt that is there. So we don't expect businesses to stay back. We don't expect you to even run away from us. You know, we are here. Well, it's not necessary. We are here to educate one another. We are here to walk the journey with you, and we are here certainly to facilitate trade, as it were. Thank you.
Awesome. Now, in closing, obviously, here at this year's Agriculture and Commercial Show, what are some of the services that somebody who's watching us and listening to us right now, if they were to walk in, instantly you will be able to service them, you will be able to assist them? Obviously, education as well.
Yes, the first thing is you definitely going to get education. The other thing that we have done is we have brought all the services. It's a full-fledged office. So we are talking of if you have your account which is not reconciled, we have officers who help you reconcile the accounts. If you have challenges to make payments, we have officers who help you demonstrate how to make the payments, submission of return, and the actual registration. You can come and register your business here at the stand and have your tip in there and then. So it's just a plea to all our viewers and our listeners that ZRA is right here at the show, and we are offering a full-fledged service. Thank you.
Before we go, if I was to scream or shout, smart invoice, everybody would definitely look at me and say, oh yes, smart invoice. Yeah. Recently, I saw good numbers of individuals, companies that are using your smart invoice system. And then there's also an initiative, I want to say an initiative of rewarding those who are using the smart invoice. Please just touch a little bit. I know you can't go into the details of that one. Just touch a little bit for the sake of somebody who missed it when we gave it out on the Business Snapshot.
Yes, thank you so much. So smart invoice, really, this is a game changer for the nation. This is a product that we need to embrace as Zambia. So this is a system that we have introduced to monitor invoices that are generated in real time and also to promote environmental sustainability. So right now, as we are speaking, we have witnessed an increase in the use of smart invoice. We have over 36,000 taxpayers who are now using smart invoice and who have generated about 84 million invoices. Now, imagine if these invoices were not digitally generated. They would have been exchanging hands between ZRA and the taxpayer. So what we are saying is this smart invoice is a product that is a good to have. We are encouraging the businesses out there to ensure that they come on board and utilize the smart invoice. Soon it will be mandatory for all businesses to use smart invoice. But most importantly, as the people who are buying these services, we need to ensure that we demand a receipt from the smart invoice at any given opportunity that you have. That's the only way ZRA will be able to track and see the growth into revenue collection. Remember, we are contributing to over 70% of the domestic revenue as ZRA. Self-sustainability is kicking in. So it's only right. We have seen USA now, they are refraining from these donor support. We don't want to lack medication in the country. So it's only right that we all come on board and support smart invoice because that's the only smart way to go. Thank you.
Well, if we were to speak of the smart way to go, you've heard it for yourself. Number one, you'll get education on the reason why you're paying tax when you come through to the ZRA stand. Number two, you will get to realize that you out there, simply by paying tax, you will be paying that teacher, that doctor, and all those who definitely offer services when you visit a government institution. Now remember, it is my tax, your tax, our destiny. Remember to visit this stand for all that information that you need. Thank you very much for having us.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure.
That's been a pleasure.
Let's go and find out what these guys have.
Yes, please. Let's go.